And we're supposed to do that too. Court does call the case. People versus Unique Haywood.
Good morning, Assistant Public Defender Lauren on behalf of Miss Haywood. Please,
Unique Haywood.
Your Honor, we are here today for a pretrial. There also is a bond violation in the file.
There is. Why don't we deal with that first?
Sure. So, as you can see in the bond violation report, Miss Haywood, for the first chunk of positive tests, did do an ETG test, which did come back negative for alcohol. She has, and that ETG should cover the period for those positive tests. Since then, she did have another positive test. I think the last one.
Which ones are you talking about the ETG covered?
She took the ETG on the 15th
of March. Right, but that doesn't cover, that might cover the 12th, the 13th, and you're saying the 14th.
Right.
Okay.
Right. Because the ETGs go back 72 hours from when she took them.
Yeah, I know how they work. Go ahead.
So she had another positive test, as the court can see. She was going to get another ETG done yesterday. However, she was at work and was unable to do so. I've spoken with Agent Mormon about it, and we haven't really come to a conclusion of what she thinks is triggering the positive test.
Oh, it's certainly not brushing your teeth.
No. She initially thought it was brushing her teeth. She now thinks it was a nicotine vape. That she was instructed to not blow 30 minutes before. She's been waiting 45 minutes and she hasn't had a positive test since changing that. So what I'm asking.
Why aren't I getting retest?
No. The reason why I did the retest the first couple of days was because I wasn't notified that the machine will actually tell me to retest. I thought that there was something that Mr. Mormon was going to have to reset, like off site. So that is my fault and my irresponsibility for that.
So I'd ask Judge if she could do it today.
Hold on. On the 16th, my problem with an ETG today is it doesn't tell me anything about the 16th.
Right, because of the 72 hours.
And so what I have before me right now is a positive test and no explanation for it.
Well, I suppose our explanation would be the vape issue. I mean, she maintains that she has not drank. She has this vape. She started using the vape when she was told at arraignment not to drink and not to consume marijuana.
Even if the vape has alcohol in it, which I don't think it would, but even if it does, she can't inhale or do anything with alcohol.
Yeah, I don't know why the vape would trigger the positive test. She's had continued positive at very small amounts. So that's our only explanation. I mean,
here's the problem with that. The problem with that, even if you're talking a half an hour range, look at the very bottom of the report on the 16th. She submits a positive test at a 0.2, correct? There is then almost 20 minutes later, 18 minutes to be exact, there's a positive test. Again.
I don't have an explanation for it, Judge. I mean, if she was drinking, frankly, I don't know if we'd see that sharp reduction.
That's not a sharp reduction. That's a reduction.
I mean, going from 0.026 to 0.019 in 18 minutes, I don't know if it was alcohol, we
Within
would
the
see
margin
that.
of error? Really, counsel?
I mean, she has consistently maintained that she has not drank alcohol. When she did have a positive test, she did an ETG and it was negative. So I think that explains that there's something else going on that she's consuming that we aren't aware of, that is triggering these positive tests.
Then you need to bring me something that says a vape's going to do it. Because otherwise, what I have in front of me now, that she has a positive test. And then it's positive on the retest.
Yeah, no, I mean,
And moreover, if it's indeed true, she was instructed not to take the vape prior to testing.
yeah, she has been waiting for a longer period since the positive test, and she hasn't had one since making that change. Again, we don't know. I've had many conversations with Miss Haywood about if it was her toothpaste. I just think that, you know,
If she wants to go with it being her toothpaste, then
no, we've come to realize that we think it's the vape because since she's waited longer, she hasn't had any positive tests.
where's the vape?
The vape's in my car at the moment.
It's in the car? All right. Then you're going to need to get some information on this vape. But right now, she's got a warrant out for arrest. She's here on an OWI 2. And I've got positive tests coming back. You've given me somewhat of an explanation for the other positive test, but I don't have an explanation for this one. It doesn't work that way. So is there somebody that can go out and get it?
She's here with her family. Her father can go get it.
Come go get it. It's in my purse. The keys are in the car. It's in my purse. It's in the car.
Because right now, like I said, she has a warrant for arrest. So she's going to have to go into custody until we can figure this out.
They briefly told me that they can call for an alteration in my results. That's the exact reason why they told me to wait at least 30 minutes prior to taking my test. So during my debriefing, when they were giving me my sober link, they did tell me that the vape is capable of causing an alteration in my results. And that's why they said that they recommend to wait at least 30 minutes prior to taking the test. And the vape is the only thing that's altered in my normal routine. I never thought that it was any type of toothpaste or anything like that, which I told Mr. Mormon as well.
The report indicates you said something about it being toothpaste.
Mormon, he asked me the same thing, and I told him that I've always told him that I believe that it was my vape because that's the only thing that's altered in my daily license being released. And they also told me that the vape is the only thing that would alter it. But they told me that I had at least 30 minutes, and I had been waiting longer than that. And now that I no longer even use it, it's fine.
I think that explains the positive tests, frankly. I mean, with the first test positive,
She was again asked if it was the vape causing the positive test. She asked if it was the vape. She was then advised that it's her responsibility to check all products that she's using to see if they contain alcohol.
yeah,
And that's the absolute truth. That's the absolute part of the program.
I mean, I don't
It's
know.
her responsibility.
Right. And I think she knows that. We've had conversations about that. I also don't know if the vape, even if it doesn't contain alcohol, does something sober like device that positive test.
Excuse me?
I mean, maybe there's something in the the smoke that malfunctions the sober link or something. I mean, I just don't know how
Oh,
she.
you want to go with that argument?
I don't know enough about the sober links, frankly, but I mean, I just don't understand. She has a positive test. She took the ETG. The ETG was negative. But we're still having the same issue. And as she said, the only thing that we can think of is this vape.
We'll wait for the vape, let you do your research, convince me that she should be released because right now she has a warrant. I won't send her back for processing at this point. Let's put her over in the jury box, get that in there, and then you bring me something, counsel. Court does recall the case of People versus Unique Haywood.
Good afternoon, Assistant Public Defender Lauren Perny on behalf of Ms. Haywood. Ms. Haywood, please state your name for the record.
Unique Haywood.
Is there anything else you want to say regarding this bond violations?
Your Honor, I did, thank you for the opportunity to speak with my client. She, at this time, does not admit to consuming alcohol. We did, off the record, speak about the possibility of alcohol from a vape. She wants the court to know she takes full responsibility for using a vape. She reiterated to me she didn't know that it consumed alcohol. She does take responsibility for.
Okay. I'll let you go on, but can you just stop right there for a moment? Because there's a number of different problems with this whole argument. Some of which have to do with sort of the global picture of things. With the number of people that vape, I would be seeing this all of the time if it were that vape. That's the first thing. Second thing is, and I certainly will let you continue, but one of the things that's bothering me is the issue isn't necessarily drinking. She cannot consume any product or in any way consume or ingest any alcohol. Those are the rules of the program. And I know it's explained to you. It's explained to you in excruciating detail. She is also, upon a positive test, for whatever the reason, is supposed to retest. She did not retest. She's not following any of the rules of the program. She did not retest after her initial one on the 12th, the one on the 13th, she didn't retest. On the 14th, she didn't retest. On the 16th, she didn't retest. Oddly, then on the 16th, there's a positive test. There are actually two. She does retest. She didn't retest immediately, but she retested and then contacted community corrections. She's the one, according to this, that brings up the vape. According to what was said to me before, that they were then supposed to wait, say, a half an hour or so before she tested if that was it, but they did remind her that she's responsible. She then, 45 minutes after that phone call, submits another test. It comes back positive again. So I'm having a little bit of a difficulty believing that that's it. I also will say, and again, I'll let you continue on, that had it been the vape, she received the unit on March 9th. Which means, and she did a compliant test on March 9th. That means then on March 10th, March 11th, I would have had positive tests. I don't. I don't have, unless somebody's just vapes occasionally.
The last 2 points I wanted to make, Your Honor, she does take responsibility for not retesting. She says she should have been more diligent at looking at the device after she tested. As for your last point about when she got the device, when she started testing positive, she normally does not vape. She started using the vape after she got the device. So that's why when she says she hasn't, that's the only thing that she thinks it is because that's the only thing she's changed out of her normal routine from when she got the device to now. And that's all I wanted to say.
Then I still would have had a positive test on 10 or 11, 10, the 10th and the 11th, if that were indeed the case.
When did you start vaping? I purchased my vape on the 12th.
Yeah, of course.
I did.
When did you start using it?
I started using it. I used it on the 12th that morning.
Anything else?
I mean, I would reiterate my request, Your Honor, to have her do an ETG today, switch her to a scram tether, and adjourn this out to see if she continues having tests, in order her not to use any nicotine or vaping products.
Does she want a hearing on this, or is she admitting to the violation? I mean, I'm not sure what you're doing here. I mean, if she does neither, I'm going to set it for a hearing. So I mean, she doesn't have to say. But
Your Honor, let's set it for a hearing, please.
set this for a bond violation hearing. My normal date would be the 3rd, but since she may likely be in custody, I'll set this for March 27th, 2024. That's a special time at 9 a.m. for the bond violation hearing. What is the alleged BAC in this case? I see that there's a prior.
Yes, Your Honor. In this case, the alleged BAC is a 0.192, and there was a crash, a single motor vehicle crash.
I didn't do the arraignment, so how long?
She was on probation for operating while visually impaired out of the 34th district. That conviction entered on August 3rd of 2023. The offense date on this is January 22nd, 2024.
Got it. All right, I'll set a bond hearing for that March 27, 2024 date at 9 a.m. Defendant's bond is reset. Your bond is going to be $25,000. I'll give a 10% privilege on that. However, prior to any release, if she posts that bond, she's to be placed on a scram tether prior to her release. Defendant is remanded.
Thank you.
Is Ms. Haywood here?
She went to go download the scram.
Okay, they had indicated to me, or at least the information I got back is, we won't get anything today.
We will get essentially an indication if there's something that needs to be reviewed by the scram expert.
Got it.
What we will not get is confirmation of an alcohol consumption event.
Because they have to, right?
Correct. But there will be an indication if something needs to be reviewed as a potential alcohol consumption event.
Okay, let's do this then. What I'm inclined to do is adjourn this to the 10th. The people don't need to have their witnesses available. And that way we can monitor it and then make a decision as to whether or not you need to proceed forth with the hearing. Does that make sense?
That works.
Okay. So I'll adjourn it to April 10th at 1.
It's actually 9.
At 9. Okay, April. Right. It'll likely go to the afternoon, but I'll set it for April 10th, 2024 at 9. But we'll likely set that in the afternoon.
Okay.
But I'll say for the hearing in pretrial.
And she can go. We're not going to hold it.
Great. She can go. Her bond will continue because she posted and it's on the scram. So, all right.